now is the best part of our year, and this is where we get to honor several members of our community who do great work in the field. And this was actually, in the years that I've been at NWS, this is one of the easiest years for us to choose because the names just came right out and everybody was in agreement right away. We have two wonderful honorees today, and I'm really pleased to be able to announce these awards. So I'm going to start with our first awardee, Nathan. And to introduce Nathan and tell you a little bit more about him, I have Teresa Velarde-Page, the program manager at the Guidance Center. So Teresa, please come up. Good morning. I'm so happy to be here and so happy and honored to introduce Nathan. Without further ado, I'll give you a little bit of background, and I also have some very special words from our CEO at the Guidance Center, Patricia Costales. Okay, so Nathan is a licensed, we all know, LCSW. He's been at the Guidance Center for 10 years, and he worked most of that time in our school-based program where I had the privilege of being his supervisor for a bit. He has a remarkable empathy for children. They feel his genuine sincerity, and he has himself a genuine desire to form a meaningful and therapeutic relationship with them. He values them, and you know what? They know it because of his genuineness and his honesty. Even the most fragile and traumatized children see Nathan as an adult that they can trust. And we all know that oftentimes children don't seek help, especially with adults, because of trust. He came to our CEO, Patricia Costales, with an idea to bring the same level of empathy and relationship building on the school campus. He came on his own initiative, and as she puts it, quite independently, he created It's About Time, a trauma-informed movement in education. These are Tricia's words, Nathan, that I'd like to share with you. Ms. Costales especially appreciated that he saw an opportunity to create positive change in the children and community beyond those he could touch in one-on-one therapy. Through his own gentle way of engaging others, he is creating system change. She couldn't, and I couldn't, be more prouder and so very glad his work is being recognized here today. So without further ado, Nathan.
Thank you for the honor. I wanted to read a compilation of quotes that I put together in a little paragraph that I think really summarizes the work I do and why I do it and what it means to me, basically. So a lot of these are from Father Boyle, if you know him from Boy Industries, and other champions of child trauma and attachment. The wrong idea has taken root in the world, and that idea is this, that there just might be lives out there that matter less than other lives. The measure of our compassion lies not in our service of those on the margins, but only in our willingness to see ourselves in kinship with them. You have to brace yourself because people will accuse you of wasting your time. You must stand with the poor and the voiceless and the powerless. You must stand with those whose dignity has been denied. You must stand with the belligerent, the surly, and the badly behaved until bad behavior is recognized for the language it is, the vocabulary of the deeply wounded and of those whose burdens are more than they can bear. Acting out is what we do when we don't have the words to communicate our needs. Every undesirable behavior is a cry for an unmet need. And almost every time, that unmet need is connection. Hurt people, and those who need the most love ask for it in the most unloving of ways. The wounded plead for you to understand their need to be loved the most when they deserve it the least, because that is when they need it the most. So that's what I get to do. That's why I do what I do. And I'm so privileged and honored and blessed to do what I do and get paid for it. So thank you all. The recognition is so so humbling and honoring. So thank you.
Velarde-Page would like to present you with the award in appreciation of your commitment to model and teach trauma-informed innovative programming, greatly benefiting at-risk Long Beach youth, 2017. Congratulations again, Nathan. That was, again, it was an easy decision because we listened to your great programming and that from Patricia this year, and it was just, it's an awesome what you're doing next door with the youth here in Long Beach. So our next award is for Tim Varvais, and I'd like to introduce Charles Tadlock, Regional Administrator for DCFS South County, to introduce Tim.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Just a few words. I had the opportunity to first meet Mr. Varvais 21 years ago when he was hired as a CSW in the South County office. Our paths split, and then 5 years ago I came back to the South County office, and there was Mr. Varvais, one of the managers in the office. Just to give you a sense very quickly of the size of the operation that we're talking about, the South County office is now the largest office in DCFS. We have over 500 people in the office, over 250 social workers, as well as educational consultants, Department of Mental Health. We have partnered with the community in Long Beach, and we've been all better for it. Many years ago, when I started working, I went into homes in Watts at the time of the Watts riots. And one of the things that struck me was that in almost every home in a corner, there was an area set aside that was almost shrine-like. And there were pictures of John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King. And I realized, frankly, that what these people represented for people was hope. And these were people who had been living and were living in despair. I can tell you that Mr. Varvais is one of these people who keeps hope alive. He is very generous with his time. Sometimes I can't find him. I find that he's making a presentation in Long Beach or working with the Long Beach Hospital, working with people, trying to explain to them our programs, which sometimes I can't understand. But he is a person of tremendous integrity. The staff hold him in great respect. His views are very much measured and taken when he offers a direction to go. So I don't want to take up what is his day and his time, but I just want everyone to know that I couldn't do my job were it not for Mr. Varvais, and he has touched the lives of thousands of people, and I'm so pleased that he's being recognized today.
Tim, End Abuse would like to present you with the award in appreciation of 2 decades of service for passionately protecting abused children, working with their families to promote healthy change, and promoting strength-based social work practice in Los Angeles County, 2017.
Thank you very much. I am truly humbled by this. 21 years of child welfare is a daunting task, as many of you know. And one of the things that I've stood by in my career is that this is a passion, it's not a job. And all of you have that same passion, I appreciate that. It's a thankless job often, and so this recognition is wonderful, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
again, that was a very easy decision to award Tim for two reasons. One, if you've worked in this area a long time, you always know that he's here. He's at meetings like this. As busy as he is, he's always there for us if we have a question or anything. And that was just reiterated to me just a few months ago. One of my brand new staff said, "Do you know some guy named Tim Varvais?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "He's so helpful. No one at DCFS is that helpful. He's great. So at a DV training, and so I was like, "Yep, I know we made the right decision," because he really is. To find somebody in the DCFS who has the time and takes the time to make sure that we are all part of his good work, I think is extraordinary. So. Now I'd like to invite both, I know you just sat down, but I'd like to invite both Tim and Nathan back up here, and also Paige and Clayton, if you would like to come and present your certificates.
On behalf of Assemblymember O'Donnell, this is actually a certificate for End of Use Long Beach. Thank you so much for the work that you all do. I know he's a parent, he's a teacher, he's a father, so these are all important issues to him, and it's really wonderful to be in a room filled with people who put others before themselves. So thank you so much. This is for you all, the Assembly member. And then Nathan and Tim, thank you so much for the work that you do. This is from the Assembly member. It says, "On behalf of the California State Assembly, thank you for 2 decades of service, passionately protecting abused children and working with their families to promote healthy change. Your commitment to practicing strength-based social work in Los Angeles County is greatly appreciated." So this is for you. Nathan, we recognize your outstanding contributions to reduce violence, abuse, and assault in the greater Long Beach community. Thank you for your commitment to modeling and teaching trauma-informed, innovative programming in benefit of at-risk Long Beach youth. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone. Again, my name is Clayton, and I'm here on behalf of Congressman Lowenthal. As he was a professor of community psychology at Cal State Long Beach for close to 30 years, he really appreciates the people who are out there on the front lines, working with communities and working with students in these vulnerable populations. It's so important to him, and it's so great to know that we have these great people in our own community. So I have 2 certificates for Nathan. In honor and recognition of your exemplary achievements to provide trauma-informed training and consultation to schools in the Long Beach Unified School District, thank you for your continuous dedication to support at-risk youth and their families. Your services are truly appreciated. And then for Tim, again, in honor and recognition of your exemplary achievements as a liaison administrator for the Department of Child and Family Services, your continuous dedication to protect and support at-risk families and youth are greatly appreciated. So from Congressman Lowenthal, we really appreciate.
I have one more. Vice Mayor Rex Richardson couldn't be here today, but they did send certificates for Tim in appreciation of 2 decades of service for passionately protecting abused children, working with their families to promote healthy change and promoting strength-based social work practice in Los Angeles. For Nathan, it's an appreciation of your commitment to model and teach trauma-informed innovative programming, greatly benefiting at-risk Long Beach. Did everybody get the photos? Okay. Do you want to you guys want to? Sure.
Yes.
I'll be taking two. One, all right, everybody. 1, 2, 3, and us. 1, 2, 3. Great,
Thank you. Again, congratulations to our honorees. I think this is a wonderful year, and really our theme this year was really taking a trauma-informed approach and kind of changing the way we do things and making sure that we are really training, going into places like the schools and into community-based organizations to make sure that everybody has a trauma-informed approach when they're working with our troubled youth or families in need. And I think maybe Nathan or Patricia and certainly the Guidance Center believes that you don't have to be a therapist, you don't have to be a professional in the field to make a difference in someone's life. And I think we learned that in many of the speakers this year, and I think so. This is definitely a trauma-informed year, and we have 2 wonderful awardees for that. I also want to mention those cuddly toys that are on the table are for a donation from End of Use to the Guidance Center this year. So please take them back, and hopefully you'll have some children that can really enjoy them. And our End of Use board members already touched them. They're very soft and cuddly, and we tried to take them home, but we won't let them. Paula had a hard time getting them out of her house, so we can attest that they are truly cuddly toys, and they're nice, so please take that. Also, as I mentioned, Mary did a lot of the decor here today. She also made 2 succulent displays for our 2 honorees. So Tim and Nathan, please feel free to take one from either the food table or the welcome table. And again, I just wanted to point out that in the back, there's information of all of our community partners. We have information about our programming in 2018. We have information about becoming a member or making a donation to our organization. Our membership fees go towards paying for speakers if we need to, for the rental of the room, and a lot of information that we put out into the community each year, like safety plans and other information tools like that we have to do printing for. So all of the membership fees that you were to pay go right back into the organization. And there's fees associated with providing CEUs, and so if you pay, it's a slightly higher fee for the CEU membership, that all goes back into the administrative piece of the CEUs. So we're all about making sure that we're making trainings and information and networking and this kind of program accessible to everyone. You do not have to be a member to come. So students who can't afford to pay, it's a $5 membership. Even if they can't afford that, we welcome to come, or parents in the community. So please share, spread the word about End of Use Long Beach. This is a really great place for those just starting off in the field and learning all about these issues, and those that are more seasoned to kind of help us with these issues and making sure that there's really a trauma-informed community. So I'm going to stop talking about End of Use. I think you've heard enough about it, but I wanted to make sure I do my pitch each year, because it is a wonderful organization, and we do hope that you'll come back. Again, it's the second Thursday of each month. So, well, that concludes our program, but it does, again, thank you all for coming, and thank you and congratulations again to Tim and Nathan.